or not, it's certainly unethical, and it's not the type of tactic that I approve of.
Well, and frankly, you're more than welcome. You want, hear both sides.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And choose for yourself.
I will send people to their websites, even their smear site. They have a site called Religious Freedom Watch, where they put things on the net about critics that are just filled with lies. They are the biggest smears. They are so over the top that it's laughable, and it makes Scientology look bad.
And that goes back to the whenever pressed, attack.
Right.
Attack
L. Ron Hubbard's policy is always attack, never defend. And he wrote to his followers, and they believe them, that anyone who attacks Scientology is a criminal. All you have to do is dig up their crimes to silence them.
What are your crimes, Mark?
Well, that's a good question, and people have been asking for years. Back in '99, I started picking up a camera and covering Scientology events. And one of the first things that happened to me, and you can see it at my website and on YouTube.
It's XenuTV.com.
Right.
XenuTV.com.
I went to L. Ron Hubbard Way where they were doing a little street fair. And I got there. I thought I was just going to shoot a little 10-minute dull video of, okay, there's a table with some books and there's some people on a Ferris wheel. And it would be dull. I got there and I was surrounded by 3 Scientologists who started bull baiting me, and this is a training routine that they do.
Is that like that woman in Clerks talked about her job?
It's been so long since I've seen Clerks, but yes, I'll agree with you. But what they do is they tried to shout me down with, "What are your crimes, Mark? Did you kill somebody? Did you stop beating your wife before coming here?" And they didn't know me, but they knew that I was the enemy. And they were trying to cave me in and run me away. And it's fascinating to see. So I know that Scientologists believe anyone who speaks out about Scientology is a criminal. And I saw this video from Anonymous. And then the next day I saw some kids out on the street in Manhattan, some young teens who were out there handing out flyers about Scientology to passerbys, doing it peacefully, doing it properly. But one of them looked into the camera and said, "We're anonymous." Now, if you've got a group on the net who's putting a threatening video out there saying we're going to essentially destroy Scientology, and we're anonymous, you can't stop us, and then I see kids out in the street showing their face saying, "Hi, we're part of this group," I know the way Scientology behaves. They're going to paint all of these kids as Al-Qaeda. These are going to be the biggest terrorists on the planet as far as Scientology is concerned.
So Scientology and Fox 11 basically are in on this.
Right. A local Fox affiliate did a story about Anonymous, and I watched that right after seeing the first Anonymous video. And my God, you would think that these people were mass murderers.
Well, that's Fox. Do you own a dog, Mark?
No, but
be careful. All right, one last question before we go to the phones, because we were talking about intergalactic overlord Xenu. Whatever happened to him? Is he
Xenu is still locked up inside his mountainside prison. He's held there by an electronic force field, and if anyone attempts to break him free, we're in big trouble, because that guy is going to blow us up again, I'm sure.
So basically, it's like Cthulhu with a volcano.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, 312-983-866-908 talk, and you can ask a question, pick a fight, or just talk about thoughts, experiences. Let's start with Matt in Ames. Matt, welcome to Mac's World on 98.3 WOW-FM. Matt.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to call in and let anyone who's interested know that there are some folks from Iowa heading down to Kansas City on the 10th to the Church of Scientology there for a picketing.
And Matt, what's going on the 10th?
Well, worldwide, there's going to be protests at churches of Scientology around the world. It's difficult to tell whether any of the followers will actually be at the church because we've gotten some information that they're going to be pulling people out of them. But we're going to be there in Kansas City on the 10th, along with the rest of the world at various locations. So
why are you doing this, Matt?
Because we want to make sure that it's the people in Kansas City and people around the world are aware that this is not just a religion. This is a business that preys upon people and tears lives apart. And we want to make that known to the people. This isn't just a funny thing that happens with Tom Cruise and makes people jump on couches. This is a real problem.
Well, now, to be fair, it's funny things with John Travolta, too.
Yeah, that's true.
We want to be equal opportunity here.
But, I mean, they honestly are tearing lives apart. And, you know, one of the things that a lot of us are calling attention to is the fact that they have the same tax-exempt status as pretty much any other religion, although they are essentially a business. And that seems completely inappropriate.
All right, thanks for the call, Matt. What about that? Mark, is there...
Yeah, Matt makes a great point. There's... in 92, Scientology sued the IRS into submission. They launched thousands of lawsuits in 1 week from individual Scientologists. The IRS buckled. They said, call them off. We'll give you your tax-exempt status. They had a secret agreement with the IRS, which was eventually leaked to the Washington Post, and it's now online. You can read it. They have privileges in Scientology that no other religions do as far as the tax write-offs go. In fact, a Jewish family, the Sklars, S-K-L-A-R-S, if you Google them, you'll see stories about them. They sued a year or two ago to try to deduct their kids' Jewish education because the Scientologists can deduct all of their coursework. And the judge in that case said, well, that is a very strong legal point, and that is something that should be looked at on the federal level.
So that's basically why Tom and Katie had Surrey was the tax exemption?
I wouldn't go that far. But there are some things about their tax-exempt status which should be looked into. There are what are called FSMs in Scientology, field staff managers or registrars. These are the people who are trying to sign you up for courses, sell you books. Now, when one of these people brings in a new member and sells them the courses, they get a commission on all those sales. How is it possible? And all those sales, by the way, are called fixed donations. You're not paying a fee for a course. You're paying a fixed donation for, tax benefit purposes.
Right, Mark, I got a question from...
You get a commission off a religious donation? That doesn't make sense.
Again, Middle Ages, this thing was relatively common.
Yeah.
I got to take a break real quick, but a question from the email. What would you say is Scientology that seems to latch on to movie stars and other entertainment types?
It's the best PR in the world. Until Tom Cruise goes nuts.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know, the Oprah. And not to mention the gal from King of Queens, not aging well.
Right, and she just wrote an email to Scientologists that is every bit as nuts as Tom Cruise's rant. All about moving up the bridge. You got to get on the bridge. You got to take those upper-level courses. It's very important. You become OT.
It's such a shame. She was so hot and Saved by the Bell. All right, I got to take a break, and we'll take some more phone calls if you can stick around.
I certainly can.
All right, Mark Bunker is with us. He is the director of XenuTV, a critic of the Church of Scientology. And by the way, Scientologists, feel free. All sides taken here. 312-0983-866-908. Talk. We're back. It's Max World, 98.3.